Hi, I'm Sarah from Stitchtastic. Welcome to my workroom. We're going to cover in today's video a little bit about how to start stitching. What do you need? How do you do it? What are some of the phrases that you might hear? So you can see here everything that you need to start your stitching. Got some fabric, thread, also called stranded cotton, a needle, pair of scissors, and this is a needle threader. You don't have to use a needle threader. I just find it easier to thread with a needle threader rather than just with my hands. This one's a special one because you can push the needle threader in and out. I just find that easier because I don't break it all the time. You don't have to have that, but I find it really useful. So, first thing to look at then is the thread. The thread is called stranded cotton. I've separated out the strands here so you can see why it's called stranded cotton. See, there's 6 different strands there. I'm going to pull one away, nice and slowly. You can see me doing that. All I'm doing here is just holding on to the rest of the threads, pulling away one. If you do it too fast, it just gets knotty. So there's my one thread. I'm going to just move the other bits out of the way so I can show you how to start your stitching using the loop method. So we take our thread and we halve it like that, push the 2 loose ends together, and at the other end you'll have a loop. Take the 2 loose ends, they're what's going to go through the needle in a second, so take your needle threader, there's the metal bit, put it through the eye of the needle. I can see it's through, whoops, because it dangles and hopefully doesn't fall off. Let me just do that again for you. There we go. Put the 2 ends of the thread through the metal loop of the needle threader, pull them through about halfway-ish, hold on to the other end of the thread and the needle and pull, and you threaded your needle. Much easier than using your eyes if your eyes are anything like mine. And there we go, that's threaded through. Here's how to start the loop method of starting your cross stitch. So I have 1 strand of cotton folded in half, a loop at one end and the other end threaded through my needle. I then have a piece of 14 count eider. 14 count means there are 14 holes in a line per inch. I'm going to take my needle, put it through any of the holes in the fabric, doesn't matter where, pull it through and pull about half of the thread through, so I've still got a fair amount of it including the loop on the other side. Then put your needle down through the hole which is opposite in your little square of 4. I know this is tricky to see and I'll show you with a big piece of fabric in a mo. Put your needle through there, pull it through so that you're left with a diagonal line on your fabric. Turn over and you'll see, if you pull a bit, you'll see your loop heading towards the fabric. Don't let it get there. Before it does, put your needle through the loop and pull it tight, and you've got a nice simple tied loop which will keep your stitching secure. It's a good way to start, it's a neat way to start, and you're not going to worry about it coming out. Then put the other arm of your cross in the opposite direction to the first one to make your cross, again going diagonally across that little group of 4 squares, and you'll see we've got our first cross stitch. Can you see that there? Yeah. So let's just change that. I have here some big Binker fabric that's only got 6 holes per inch, so it's much easier for me to show you. The only thing is I haven't got a loop method, so I'll just show you and I won't tie it in properly, but it's an easy way for me to show you how to do a cross stitch. Let's repeat what we did with the 14 count. See, I'm bringing up my needle through any of the holes, doesn't matter where. Then I'm going to go opposite there, diagonally opposite, just holding on to my thread because I haven't done the loop method, pull through. I've used more than one thread here, as you can see, because otherwise on this big fabric you can't see it. That's why I wanted to demonstrate on the small stuff first. Then, using the same square 4 holes, go to the other one. You've gone across to the other bottom one and diagonally across to make your first cross stitch. Some people just carry on like that and make a whole stitch, then another whole stitch, and so on. I'll do that for you now. So the 2 stitches overlap that second set of holes. Don't make it entirely separate. When I first started stitching, I put the next stitch over there, and it would have been a very large design. You do them actually touching the stitch you've just done. Can you see how all of my stitches, I always do that line at the bottom first, going in my direction from right to left. You're probably seeing it the other way around, aren't you? And then I always make sure the top arm is going in the same direction to keep my stitching neat. Some people like to, I'll start it over here, they like to do one line. Can you see that okay? Then they do one line of the next stitch and one line of the next stitch, and so on and so forth. And they've seen on their pattern that they need 3 stitches in this particular colour, so then they come back and do the opposite part of the cross all in one go like this. Can you see that okay? A bit high up, aren't I? There we go. It doesn't really matter which way you do it, it's just personal preference really. I prefer to do all my crosses together. A lot of people prefer to do them like that, but you can see in the end they look exactly the same. Just changes a little bit how they look on the back. But you can see there how to make a cross stitch, nice and simple. When you finish doing the stitches you need to do, turn over, just ignore my little dangly bit there, and put your thread through some of this thread at the back, which is left there from the stitches you've already done. Doesn't matter how much you use. All you're doing is securing that thread through some of the back. Do it twice, maybe even 3 times if you feel it needs it, and then snip it off. You've got a nice neat back and you've got your stitches on the front. I hope that's helped you out today. If you have any questions or comments about this video or about anything else you'd like us to cover, please do comment underneath this video. Thanks for watching.